Hey friends, welcome back, or welcome. If you're new here, hello, my name is Maida. For today's video, I'm gonna be doing a super freaking fun video. I'm so excited, I've been excited about it. There's some craziness going on in my life right now that just has sort of delayed me starting this video, but here we are today. We're getting ready to do some claw press-ons. So my girl Devil Wears Press-Ons here on YouTube, she posted a video in which she showed how she makes claw press-on nails out of resin using a silicone mold, and I'm very excited. I cannot tell you, the day that I saw her video, I immediately ordered the silicone mold and waited patiently by my door for the delivery of said mold. I'm stoked, but the point is, these press-ons are gonna be sick, babe. So if you want to see how I make these press-ons, then I hope that you'll keep on watching. You guys are gonna freak out, I hope, because I freaked out. So yeah, as I mentioned, Devil Wears Press-Ons. Please, if you haven't seen her video, go check it out after this one, please. Check it out because she made hers so beautifully. They look very magical. Glitter, there's like all kinds of goodies, and they're so easy to do as well. So I was like, you know what? I must do these. Here are some of the things that we're gonna need. Okay, so let me get situated. Actually, I've been meaning to change this lens because it's too noisy. Give me a second. Man, I've been trying to find the right lens to film with among my tiny collection. I have 3 at the moment for my camera, and like I just cannot. And you would think this girl went to college and studied photography. She should know which one is the best. But babe, you know how long it's been since I graduated college? Far too long. Also, I have the memory of a goldfish. Let's hope that this is better. So I've been using a 50mm lens for my camera. This is honestly the best for capturing details and such. However, it's really hard for me to use it because it's so stinking noisy. The autofocus is noisy, and if I leave it on manual focus, it's this whole thing. Like I have to keep readjusting the focus. It's just whatever. But anyway, dude, I've been so scatterbrained lately trying to get it together here. All right, so this is what I have. This is the mold that Tamara recommended. It is from AliExpress, I believe. I'll link it down below. It's great. The only thing that I'm like not too crazy about is that it only comes in these 3 sizes. So you have to be flexible with it because these are not gonna fit super perfectly, you know? I also have this giant bottle of resin. You don't need this huge thing of resin. I have it because I use it with my little cake nail stands, which also there might be an update coming pretty soon. But anyway, yeah, you're gonna need resin and you're gonna need your mold, your silicone mold. I was so stoked to come up with something that I haven't really tried out before. More like a style, I suppose, or like an aesthetic, if you will. I wanted to do something more along the lines of like cyberpunk nails. Cyberpunk is something that I haven't really delved into very much. I think the aesthetic itself is really interesting to me, and I've kind of also been obsessed a little bit with green and black. I don't know. I just kind of like them. So that's going to be our color palette here. Here's a sketch. We're going to have some like 3D elements to these. It's going to be a good time, okay? So as I mentioned, green and black are going to be our colors. So I'm going to be using this gel polish from Valentino Beauty Pure. V-Beauty Pure. Come on, Maya, get it together. 034 is the name. I also want to incorporate a glow-in-the-dark effect. We're going to see if I can even do it. Honestly, I did make a test set. The glow in the dark effect isn't as prominent on that set, but I'm gonna try to make it work. I'm still gonna use this. Also have my black, and then I'm also gonna be using this black liner gel from Ball Pit, and then of course the top coat, which will be the Bandi Mirror Top Gel. I think that's it. Oh, yeah, no, that's not it. I'm also gonna, because I'm gonna be sculpting some of these little itty bitty parts, I'm also gonna be using some 3D gel. The 3D gel isn't that big a deal, honestly. I'm only gonna be using a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna have to paint it, so it doesn't really have to be any particular color necessarily. We'll grab that later. And I'm gonna be using these guys. I bought a bunch of little, what are these called? Bubble gems from Michael's the other day, and I wanted to incorporate them as well. I'm going to be using this little tub, and only the greens, of course, or the yellow lime greeny ones. Oh, and then I'm also going to be using Crazy Top, I'm pretty sure, and rhinestone glue. That is to be expected, I think. I forgot to mention, but you'll also need gloves, short oval tips. You should also wear a mask. I think that's it. So now that we have a clearer picture of what it is that we're going to use, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to lose the face cam for this coming portion of the video, only because I have to wear a mask since I am using resin. I don't want to be inhaling those fumes. It's not good for you. You should also be wearing a mask if you are handling resin and that kind of thing. Protect your lungs, babe. So yeah, I won't be able to talk as much. I won't be able to talk at all. But editing Maida can walk you through the steps. They're pretty much the same steps as Devil Wears Press-Ons because I followed her video. Have I said thank you, Tamara? Thank you, Tamara. All right, so I finally ordered myself some short oval cover tips. And these are the ones that I'm going to be using. They're from Beetles. And I'm just going to size them out to fit from sidewall to sidewall. And that's what you'll see me do. Next up, you don't really need to do this step. I did it just because I thought it made sense, but it doesn't really make sense. I filed my cover tips on the cuticle area just to make sure that they fit snugly into the silicone mold. Do you know what I mean? So the silicone mold kind of shows the thumb as having more of a square cuticle area, while the other two spaces have more of a curved cuticle. I didn't show that part, but I did do it off camera and it didn't really make sense to do it. But anyway, so this is how I do the water marbling technique. I don't know what to call it. I'm sure it's called something. It just makes sense in my head to call it water marbling. Gel marbling? So I basically just dropped a couple of drops of gel. I used lime green, and then I also dropped in a little bit of the glow-in-the-dark top coat that I have, and that's gonna help them glow in the dark. It's a really cool effect, actually. As I'm chit-chatting, I'm hopefully not distracting you too much from the fact that I messed up this first nail. So I put too much resin the first time around, and because of that, the resin kind of oozed over top of the cover tip. There's also a little ridge where your cover tip is supposed to kind of fit into. You can't really see it. It's hard for me to show you on camera, but within the mold, there is a little ridge. I couldn't get my cover tip to kind of fit snugly in there. So the more that I pushed it down to fit into that area, the more that it kept pushing the resin over top of the cover tip, and that was not going to work. So what I basically did to try to work around that was to add way less resin, which then I have to compensate for because the resin that I do have in there doesn't reach the very top edges or the top sidewall area of the cover tip. You'll see what I mean later in the video, but either way, this worked a lot better than the first time around. So just FYI, add a little bit of resin at a time. pour in a little more once the cover tip was already inserted into the silicone well. But yeah, that's basically how I made these. They're super easy to do. You do just have to play around with the mold. But yeah, I basically repeat the same design. I do end up covering 3 of these nails with gel polish, so you won't even really see like the marbly effect, but that's okay. I do want to mention that once I pop them out of the silicone mold, I cure them again. So it's a full cure in the silicone mold and then another full cure once they're out. And then you're gonna feel them get a little warm. That's totally normal. And look at how cool this pink one looks. But yeah, you can see there's a little bit of resin that's missing, so I'm just gonna dab a little bit on the side and cure it, and then I'll file it off and buff it just to smooth everything out. But that's how they look. These are super fun. You guys should try it. As I mentioned, make sure that you are being safe with resin. Just as with gels, you want to make sure that you're wearing gloves the entire time and that you are wearing a mask as well, especially when you go and file these, especially around the cuticle. But yeah, and then also to clean your silicone mold, please be sure to be as gentle as possible because you don't want to mess up your mold. Silicone is pretty durable. Durable. I have a hard time pronouncing that word, but you can still damage your silicone mold if you wipe too harshly, and you don't want to do that, you know? So now, again, I'm just shaping these out a little bit, smoothing out some of these edges, and I'm doing it over top of my dust collector. This is another big thing you don't want to work without when using resin, or whenever you're filing anything. If you have a dust collector available to you, please, oh my gosh, please use it. Use it. Mine is not very high tech. It's not very powerful in terms of suction, or you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's better than nothing. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up now. You're just gonna see me continue filing a little bit and shaping the cuticle to fit my hand, my cuticle, and that's pretty much it. Oh, one more thing. Just kidding. One more thing. These also have a little, I mentioned the little ridge that they have. It also helps you shape out that claw shape. So I'm doing a terrible job at explaining this part, but When you pop your nail out of the silicone mold, you're going to see that it has like a little lip that you can file down, and then it'll make it so that it is the perfect claw shape. So FYI, it's even easier than you think to file and smooth out these claws, seriously. Alright guys, so it's some time later. I went ahead and shaped the nails as you just saw. I think they look pretty freaking cool, dude. Like, look at this. They look so good. But they do have some imperfections, which I want to quickly point out. These are imperfections that you may run into because I was noticing that the thumb on the silicone mold couldn't really fit the nail size that I needed. I wear a size 0 on my thumb, at least for these cover tips. And I should have already explained it, but you have to kind of squeeze in that cover tip right before you cure the resin. You have to squeeze it over top, and this cover tip in particular was too wide. So because it was too wide, it sort of stuck up a little bit on the sides. So that is what I kind of have to fill, just the resin that couldn't reach the very top, you know. I didn't want to really push down onto the cover tip too much. Otherwise, it kind of kept sinking too far into the little well. Like you saw it ooze over the cover tip. You don't want that. Where's my other? Here. This is what ends up happening when you do. I tried to save this one. I really couldn't. It ends up being too small, so I have to essentially make up for it. So after that long ass explanation, I'm so sorry. All right, so I'm just gonna put it on top of my stand so that I can do the little fill. So I'm just grabbing a liner brush and I'm gonna just touch up those little imperfections. I also had a few air bubbles that accidentally cured as bubbles, therefore it left a gaping hole on my press-on. So I also want to fill those in really quick, just in case. I just don't want it to give me trouble with my gel polish. I'm gonna grab this flat brush. I just want to go over to smooth this little patch, because I want to do very minimal filing. Like, I'm set with filing. I only want to buff a little bit, you know? Alrighty, I'm gonna cure. And let's see, this one looks okay. This one too. Oh, you know what? So I went a little too high on this one when I was filing under here, and I want to see if I can patch that up as well. I mean, they're not super hard to do. I could just do it again, but If if it takes me too long, then I probably will just do another. And now I'm starting to see that I might need to just do another one. I don't want to. Wait, I might be able to get away with it. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna add a bit of base gel here. This one is a pretty thin viscosity, by the way. It's from Beetles. It's from Beetles, and I think it'll be a better option to fix those slight like divots. I think I might need a little more on this one. Maybe like there. I think that did it. Oh shit. Inhibition layer. Ew. Sorry guys, I don't like sticky. Just realized I'm not wearing any gloves. My bad. Right, I'm gonna add a bit of this base gel. I really do need to be using my flash carrying lamp. Almost flashed my crazy top. Okay, I do have to do slight buffing here just to smooth things out a little bit. That's it. Alright, so it's not perfect, but it's better. Looking at my sketch, I do want to do the base colors to these first, as per usual. The index finger and the ring finger are both going to be black. So I'm going to add the black to those. This one is going to be lime green. And then, no wait, this one, there we go. This one is going to be lime green. This one will be clear. And so will the pinky. So let me put these off to the side. So I'm basically just going to add top coat to those two. Let's add the black. I don't know if you can see the little divot in there, but that was the air bubble that I was talking about earlier. I'm going to leave it. I didn't end up filling it with gel because I figured it should be okay for when I add the gel polish. I'm just going to add the black. Want to add a super thin layer of base gel to all of these because I am noticing a few like little bumpies that I'm not crazy about. See right there? So I think if I add a thin coat of base gel, those should smooth out quite nicely. So I'm going to do that real quick. And it gives you a chance to see the inside of these. Doesn't that look so cool? I was tempted to leave all of these clear. Tamara did hers like that as well. And the glitter and aura fiber looking things that she put in there, they just look so magical. I was tempted. Look at how cool. The water marbling effect looks pretty cool, but I want this cyberpunk kind of design. All right, so this is the pinky. I'm gonna wipe off the very tip because I want that to stay super crisp and pointy. Look at this pink. What? I don't know why I went with water marbling for this design. I think I wanted the look of something to take kind of like an alien-like shape. Like, have you seen the movie Signal and how those creatures or those beings they were just black splatter? And that's kind of what I was thinking with these. It wasn't Signal. I'm so silly. What the heck was it? With Amy Adams, is it? Amy. Arrival. That's what it is. That's the movie that I meant to say. But yeah, but you see that though? That was kind of like what I was going for. Cool, cool, cool. You know what? I want these to look really good. So I'm going to add black to the underside. I'm gonna try to thin it out a bit. Alright, so I am gonna cover the pink following our sketch here. Middle nail is green. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover that. So good. Nice. The gel that I'm using isn't great at leveling per se, but I'm not too worried about it. I am going to be putting on some stuff over top for the design, so it's alright. So I'm going to work on the thumb first. I'm going to get my little gems out, and I'm going to need 3 of these. So I'm just going to dip the little gem into the crazy top and then place it over top like that. Okay. Flash cure. I can use pretty much any color of 3D gel, so I'm just going to use this one. This is from YOGO. I haven't used it in a minute. All right, I'm just going to grab a bit, and I'm just going to put it over top. I kind of wanted it to be smaller, so I'm going to split that in half actually. Just going to grab my silicone tool, dip it into isopropyl alcohol so that my gel doesn't stick. And I'm going to pat it in place. I kind of just want like an extra little level, I guess, like an extra patty over top. Alrighty, kind of like that. I know you can't really see. I want a little bit more for the other side. Okay, it's important to look at these little buttons from all directions so that you know that they're more or less even. Next up, I want to make kind of little antennae over top. So in order to do that, I am going to have to make tiny sticks. To get a noodle out like this, I basically had to put a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on the fingertips of my gloves, and I rolled out the ball between my fingers before sliding it onto my palette because otherwise it was going to stick. Alrighty, so here is what we have so far. I'm going to go ahead and maybe give it another cure because it was a little too soft. And then I'm going to grab these old cuticle nippers and I'm going to cut the little pieces of antenna. Tiny radio signal antenna things. So like this. Perfect. I'm going to try to line those up as best as I can. There we go. I'm going to save this little piece because I will be needing another couple of antennae. I'm going to grab one of these little sticks. Just stick it in the middle, like that. And that might be a little too long, but it's okay. I'm going to cure them and then I'll go ahead and adjust the length. I'm going to try to get these right in the middle. Gonna flash cure. They're a little too long to insert into my lamp. Cool. Alright, so I am going to trim these a bit. Oh, sorry, I was so out of frame. Okay, I think that's better. I am going to paint the tops of these with silver and use up my busted silver gel. I think the gel's still good, you know? I'm going to give it a quick mix. I went ahead and added a silver line down the middle. I freaking love that so much. And then I added 3 rectangle sequin pieces to the side, and then 1 over here in a different direction. You can barely see it, but it's there. And then I added a little bit of primer under the nail and then went over that with top coat. This one is from Beetles, and now they look even more crystal clear. Check it out. Isn't that so cool? All right, but now I want to work on the nail that has the lightning bolt. So this is how I'm gonna do it. So I added some green here to my silicone mat, and this is the nail that has the wrinkle. So pretend it's not there. I'm kind of hoping that this is going to help camouflage that wrinkle, because now we're like so far in that I didn't have time to file it down and reapply. We're just gonna make it work. So I'm gonna start with the line down the middle, kind of like that, and about halfway up the nail. Okay, next I'm going to do another line here, kind of like this. Then I'm gonna bring this side over and then continue up the nail. Okay? You know what? I'm gonna bring this side up a little bit more. So I went ahead and added the 2 lines down the side, and now I'm gonna add the teeny tiny battery. I'm just gonna grab some more 3D gel and grab a bit here. I'm gonna do a little cylinder, straighten it out as much as possible. And then I'm gonna add it here to the side, smooth it out some. Alrighty, and now I'm gonna paint it silver.
Electric pulses in the air, silence.
right, girlies, it is the end of the video. Here are the finished claws. What do you guys think? Let me know. I love them so much. There are, however, imperfections that I am going to point out because I just have to, you know? So I mentioned the sizing of the claws within the silicone mold. So the sizing is kind of off. You really do have to kind of play around with it. I really thought that my nails were pretty small to begin with, but apparently not. There are people with even teeny tinier nails than myself. But regardless, I mean, I do think that the more that I play with the silicone mold, the more that I'll understand my sizing and like how to better adjust for my sizes. I just love the aesthetic. I had a couple of mishaps with my brush that I didn't realize I had until now that I look at them in the sunlight and as I'm like up close and personal. They're just little accidental brush strokes that I did. I don't know when, but I did them and it's not super noticeable, but I noticed them. So I just really have to be careful with that next time. The 3D gel doesn't look as crisp as I wish it would. I feel like I kind of rushed to do these. And even though they don't take very long to do, I was still in a rush and I felt like I needed to hurry up and finish. So it shows. It shows a little bit that I kind of rushed through some steps that they require some extra time, extra love, extra attention. But regardless, I think it still makes for a really dope set. I really am impressed with myself in terms of some of these lines. They look freaking crisp, babe. I'm pleasantly surprised at myself. There's a teeny tiny aspect of glow in the darkness on the thumb and pinky, which I can show you. It's very minimal, it's very subtle, but I do think that if I wanted to, I could just go over the green accents, say on the black nails, for instance, and that'll kind of bring out even more glow in the dark effect. I could do that in the future maybe, but yeah, bro, these are sick. I love them. As Tamara said, these are definitely more like editorial kind of nails. I probably won't be wearing these to like pick up groceries or anything like that, but for pictures, for videos, that kind of thing, I feel like these are really freaking cool. And I also want to try to learn how to make them myself with, I believe it's just like solid gel, 3D gel. They probably just require a little more molding with your actual fingers, I'm assuming. Any hoosers, that's gonna be it from me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for not commenting on how poopy I look at the end of the video. I'm gonna go chill out for a second and start editing this video because it's probably gonna take me a while. On that note, I do want to say that if you see my posting schedule shift a little bit, that is because my personal schedule has changed and I'm still trying to post once a week, but it may come at like different times of the week, or like different days of the week, blah blah. If you want to hang out with me in the future and don't want to miss a post of mine, you can hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time that I upload. And please like this video. It helps me out so much. Your support means everything to me. And yeah, I hope that you're here for the next video. So until then, I will see you in the next one. Bye.